Have you ever held a green stone that seemed to vibrate in your hand? A stone that some say can change your life, awaken hidden energy, or even bring destiny-altering experiences? That mysterious gem is called Moldavite. But here's the problem. For every real Moldavite, there are dozens of fakes flooding the market. So, how can you tell if what you're holding is the real deal or just a clever imitation? Stay with me, because in this video, we're not only uncovering the signs of real Moldavite, but also exploring the secrets, stories, and spiritual connections that make this extraterrestrial stone so legendary. Chapter 1: The Origin Story of Moldavite. Let's begin with where it all started. Moldavite isn't just another gemstone pulled out of the earth. No, it's actually a tektite, a rare form of glass born from a cosmic collision. Around 15 million years ago, a massive meteorite struck what is now southern Germany. The impact was so violent that the heat melted surrounding rocks and hurled molten material high into the atmosphere. When this molten matter cooled and fell back to Earth, it formed a green, glassy substance unlike anything else. Moldavite. This is why Moldavite is often called the stone from the stars. People in ancient times already felt its energy. Legends say it was used as a talisman for fertility, luck, and spiritual awakening. So from the very beginning, Moldavite has always been more than just a pretty green gem. It's been a bridge between Earth and the cosmos. Chapter 2: The Fascination and the Fake Market. But with fascination comes exploitation. Today, Moldavite is one of the most counterfeited stones on the planet. Why? Because demand is high and supply is incredibly limited. Real Moldavite only comes from one small region, the Czech Republic, specifically the Bohemian and Moravian areas. Yet if you search online, you'll see hundreds of sellers offering Moldavite at unbelievably low prices. Unfortunately, most of these are just green glass imitations made in factories. And that's where the challenge begins. If you're drawn to Moldavite for its energy, its beauty, or its spiritual connection, you must know how to separate real Moldavite from the fakes. That's exactly what we'll uncover next. Chapter 3: Physical Signs of Real Moldavite. Now let's get practical. How do you actually identify Moldavite? Here are the physical signs you should always look for. 1. Texture and surface. Real Moldavite has a distinctive etched surface, often described as wrinkled, rippled, or sculpted. This texture comes from the way it formed during that cosmic impact. Fake Moldavite, on the other hand, usually looks too smooth, shiny, or polished. 2. Color. Authentic Moldavite ranges from a forest green to an olive or mossy green. Some pieces can appear slightly brownish or even have pale, translucent edges. But if it's neon green, bottle green, or too perfectly uniform, chances are it's fake. 3. Bubbles and inclusions. Under magnification, real Moldavite contains tiny bubbles and flow lines, little frozen rivers of glass that mark its natural formation. Fakes often have larger, evenly spaced bubbles, because they're just man-made glass. 4. Weight. Moldavite is surprisingly light for its size because it's essentially a natural glass. When compared to glass imitations, real Moldavite feels slightly less dense in the hand. 5. Source and certification. Always ask, where did it come from? If a seller can't provide sourcing or certification, that's a red flag. Chapter 4: Spiritual and Energetic Signs. But Moldavite isn't just about what you can see. It's also about what you can feel. Many people report that when they hold real Moldavite, they experience a sudden rush of energy, a tingling sensation, or even a dizzy, lightheaded feeling. This phenomenon is often called the Moldavite flush. Some describe it as warmth spreading through their chest. Others feel emotional release, like sudden tears or laughter. And some even say Moldavite has triggered life-changing events, new jobs, relationships, or spiritual awakenings. Now, whether you believe in crystal energy or not, the sheer number of people reporting these experiences makes Moldavite unique. But here's the key. If you feel absolutely nothing, and the stone also looks suspicious physically, then chances are it's not authentic. So both the physical signs and the energetic signs should be considered together. Chapter 5. How to test Moldavite at home. Now let's say you already have a piece of Moldavite and you're wondering if it's real. Here are a few simple home tests. 1. The light test. Hold the stone up to bright light. Real Moldavite often reveals natural streaks, inclusions, and subtle variations. 2. Magnification test. With a jeweler's loupe, check for those tiny bubbles and flow lines. These are natural fingerprints of real Moldavite. 3. Scratch test. Moldavite has a hardness of about 5.5 on the Mohs scale. Be cautious with this test. You don't want to damage your stone. 4. UV light test. Most Moldavite doesn't fluoresce under UV light. If your piece glows brightly, it may be an imitation. 5. Professional verification. When in doubt, take it to a gemologist or a trusted dealer. Remember, the more tests it passes, the more likely it's authentic. Chapter 7. Common myths about Moldavite. Before we close, let's clear up some myths. 1. Myth: all Moldavite looks the same. Truth: authentic Moldavite comes in a wide range of shapes, sizes, and shades. No two are identical. 2. Myth: bigger Moldavite is always better. Truth: the power of Moldavite isn't about size. Even a tiny chip can carry strong energy. 3rd myth: Moldavite only brings good luck. Truth: Moldavite isn't about good or bad. It's about transformation. Sometimes that means challenges before breakthroughs. Chapter 8. Final guidance. So how do you identify real Moldavite? Look for its etched texture and natural color. Check for tiny bubbles and inclusions. Feel its lightness compared to glass. Notice any energetic responses it stirs within you. And always buy from trusted, certified sources. If you keep these signs in mind, you'll never be fooled by a fake. Moldavite isn't just a gemstone. It's a story written in cosmic fire, carried to earth, and waiting in your hand. Whether you believe in its mystical powers or simply admire it as a rare geological wonder, one thing is certain: Moldavite invites us to ask deeper questions. Where do we come from? What forces shape our destiny? And how can a single greenstone remind us of the connection between heaven and earth? That's the magic of Moldavite. And if you hold the real one, you'll know.